Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm great. If you're wondering, alhamdulillah. Today's topic is going to be about jobs. Okay, work, careers, whatever you'd like to call it. I thought I'd do this video because I do have quite a bit of experience in lots of different uh, industries or roles, if you want to say, throughout my life. I thought I'd be probably, the best qualified person to, or experienced person to talk about this topic. And obviously, I'm going to try and put some English into this as well, so that you guys will know how to talk about jobs in the future as well. Um, First of all, there are obviously lots of different types of jobs out there in the world, okay? And everybody obviously has different ambitions to be or to become what they want to be or what they want to do. All right. So basically, to start off with, I guess you have to think about what your strengths are. Okay. Don't think about which job is the most paying job, okay, or which is the easiest job. No, I think when you're still in high school, it's actually a very good time for you to really think hard and long about what you want to do. You know, not just for now or the next few years, but also for the long term. All right, so for the next 10, 20 years or so. Um, some people have an idea of what they want to do when they're from a young age. Okay, from when they're young. I wasn't one of those people. My brother actually was. He loved electronics and he loved computers when they first came out. So, he, yeah, that's what he did. He finished high school and he did a course in computers and he ended up becoming a technician. So until now, okay, so that's 20 or 30 years now. So that's he was lucky. In my case, I wasn't sure I wasn't too sure. When I was in primary, I wanted to be a doctor, and when I was in junior high school, I wanted to be like an architect or interior designer, and then senior high school came along. I was even more confused because that's when I realized there was a lot more jobs available out there. And so I had to think really long and hard about this, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do until I finished high school, and I took a gap year to think about what I wanted to do. So I started working part time, and it gave me an idea, more of an idea about what's out there and what my likes and dislikes are. So. A job really depends on your personality type. Okay, there are the best jobs based on different personality types. For example, the artistic type is someone who likes working with designs and patterns, like a clothes designer or an architect. An investigative type of person is someone who likes figuring out problems. Okay, like a vet, a doctor, or a pharmacist, for some examples. Conventional types of people like following instructions and they like routines. Okay, things like an egg traffic controller, an accountant, or even like a IT, help desk, computer help desk, where they know what problems could arise and they know basically how to fix it. Another type of person is a realistic type who likes working outside or with real world materials, like a restaurant cook, bus driver, sales rep, um, you know, builder, architect. Maybe is also one of those people who likes to work outside and inside. Lots of other jobs that might be available for somebody who is a realistic type of person. An entrepreneuring type is somebody who likes to lead people and make decisions. Okay, so like a director or a managing director, a lawyer, a flight attendant, and even like teachers. You know, actually we have to be quite a bit of everything to be a good teacher. But yeah, we definitely have to be on the edge and leading and be good at leading and communicating with people. And last type is a social type. Okay, somebody who likes working with other people. So basically, somebody who likes working in a childcare worker, or a high school coach or teacher. A presenter. Just basically anybody who likes to work with people. Okay, so you really have to start by really getting to know yourself and knowing, who you are, and finding out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and really working towards your strength. Okay, that will really help you to get ahead when you're looking at work. All right, so we can use gerund phrases to actually compare, different types of jobs, and we can use them, gerund phrases as subjects, which is used at the beginning of a sentence, or gerund phrases as objects, which is being used at the end of a sentence. I'll give you some examples. The first one is gerund phrases as subjects. So you could say, for example, directing a TV show would be interesting. Writing a gossip column could be fun. Okay, notice how I'm using modals as well in those examples. Designing clothes is not a man's job, but obviously there are men who are very good designers. And being a flight attendant sounds exciting. Okay, so those first 2 or 3 words are what we call gerund phrases, and yeah, we can use them at the beginning of a sentence. At the end of a sentence, we can also use them as objects. Okay, so for example, we could say, he wouldn't like being a fashion designer, or he would enjoy being a flight attendant, or she would be good at writing a gossip column, or they would love directing a TV show. Okay, they would love to direct a TV show. Or they would love directing a TV show, okay? Which means obviously that they would love to have the opportunity to direct a TV show, or direct a film, or a movie. Okay, so there's gerund phrases that are very useful to describe jobs to some extent, and what kind of people would be good at those jobs. Next point is using suffixes. Okay, so we can use suffixes to form the names of jobs. All right, and for example, er as a suffix, you could say reporter, web designer, teacher, driver, and banker. Okay, notice how they got er at the end of those words. Another suffix we could use is or. So for example, an instructor, or a counselor, or an ambassador, or a director. Okay, or in Australian we just say instructor, counselor, ambassador, and director. Okay, just a bit of a difference in the accent, but I'm sure you all know what they mean. Okay, ist or ist is another suffix we could use. So for example, a columnist or a gossip columnist, psychiatrist, dentist, philanthropist, linguist. Okay, just some examples of ist as a suffix. And the last one is ian or ian. For example, comedian, politician, technician, veterinarian. Are just some other suffix jobs using suffixes. To describe the title of the jobs. All right. Now, can you think of any other jobs with suffixes? Have a think. Think about it as you're wondering what other jobs are out there and what would be good for you. Another grammar point I'd like to talk about is comparisons. Okay, so when we're talking about comparisons, okay, the comparative. Okay, there are actually 4 different ways to do this. You can use comparisons with adjectives. For example, something is more interesting than something else. Okay, or something is less interesting than something else. A is harder than B. Okay, I'll use A and B for instead of something. Or A is not as hard as B. Okay, so those are using adjectives for comparisons. You can also use verbs for comparisons. So you can say, for example, A earns more than B. A earns less than B. A earns as much as B. And A doesn't earn as much as B. Another way to compare is using nouns. All right, so we can say, for example, A has better or worse hours than B. A isn't as much work as B. Or A has more education than B. Okay, so we're using the noun as the comparison, and we use obviously has or hasn't in that example. And the last point is with participles. So, for example, A is better paid than B. A isn't as well paid as B, which is obviously the opposite. And A is better educated than B. Okay, so past participles can also be used to compare jobs or anything else really, for that matter. So yeah, hopefully that will help you guys to think about what jobs are available and how to talk about those types of jobs. I do have some tips, some really good tips for you guys. I was going to finish it there, but I think it might be a good idea for me to read you some of these great tips that I have. With regards to jobs. Okay. But unfortunately, I think I'm going to take too much of your time. So actually, why don't you do that for homework? Find out what are some good tips or strategies for keeping your job. Okay. I know you don't have jobs yet, probably at the moment. But to say, one day you get a job, what are some ways that you can keep, your job? For example, how, to be positive, to express yourself well, to impress your superiors or your boss, to make yourself noticeable, in front of other people, or compared to other people. Keeping up to date with the latest information, latest trends, and maybe taking some classes. So all right guys, think long and hard about this, because what they say, the best job in the world you could do is a job that you love. Okay, so yeah, just remember that it's not always about the money. Okay, and to be honest, if you don't really think about this now, problem is later on you might have problems, getting a job that you like. And there's nothing worse than doing a job that you don't like. Okay, take it from me, I've been there. All right guys, all the best. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Stay cool, stay healthy, and assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.